Hi, Aries. So this is your reading for mid-May 2018. And I waited until mid-May because I wanted Uranus to reposition into the second house of Taurus. So Uranus moved from Aries, where it's been for the past 7 to 8 years. And that has been in your house of self, dealing globally and individually with issues of self. Hence this proliferation of selfies and social media, just self-expression. Well, we're moving away from that. And I feel like Aries, because Uranus was there for so long, the naturally independent sign of Aries has really been um, functioning at a very independent place, a very self-centered place. And it's not self-centered in a bad way. It's self-centered in a very Aryan way. Aries is, a cardinal fire sign. So Aries is the initiator. It is the doer. All the fire signs are doers in the zodiac, but Aries is the initiator. Aries makes things happen. And now I'm actually surprised. Okay. The energies being introduced are definitely the end of a cycle. But, I expected that because with this whole new Uranus repositioning, of course, it's the start of something new. We have whole new energies coming in. We have them coming in now in the year 2018. So that in itself was an 11 year. It's a whole new. It's a time of enlightenment. It's a time of new things, new beginnings. It's a whole new cycle that like the world has never seen. And for Aries, this energy that I'm being presented with and feeling is one of letting go of that independence, which is so difficult for Aries to do. And the emphasis is definitely on partnerships. We have crowning the reading, the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups is about that loving feeling of just emotional acceptance. It's our happy place. That's what I think of as the Six of Cups is our emotional happy place. And I think that's why in this deck it's represented as children, because that's generally when we feel the most secure, happy, carefree, and loved and cared for is when at this time in our lives. And as the crowning energy, you see that there's two figures in the picture, and one is presenting the gift or the cup of love to another. And that's hard for Aries. It really is a challenge for Aries to accept that unconditional love from another, and to trust in that love. And, Aries being in the first house of the zodiac, the first sign of the zodiac, the initiator, it's Aries were born independent. And their challenge is always going to be the full acceptance of another. It doesn't mean Aries don't have loving relationships and loving partnerships. It just means that there's so often challenges in power struggles, in defining roles, in finding that person that accepts Aries for the leaders that they are, while at the same time allowing them to be nurturing. And a lot of times that's where Aries have trouble in partnerships. But this whole reading, the whole energies being introduced are about partnership. You have, for the central energy, I had two cards come out, and I always, I meditate, I pre-shuffle, and I let the cards fall before I start recording. That's because that is a time-consuming process. So I had two cards come out for the central energy for Aries. for the month of May 2018. We have the Major Arcana card we have the Two of Cups. I'm looking over here because you also got the Major Arcana card of the Lovers. But anyway, so right here in a line, you have 3 twos, and twos are about partnership. Twos are about that balance between the feminine and the masculine energy. We have the Two of Swords right here as well, indicating that need for balance. She is perfectly balanced, and that's how she achieves that level of serenity that she has in this card. And the wholeness that the Two of Cups symbolizes, it's the potential for wholeness. And so that's the energy coming in for Aries right off the bat, is partnership. I don't feel like this is a romantic partnership. This is about any kind of partnership that is going to bring Aries a feeling of emotional satisfaction and harmony. This is being worked with by the Two of Pentacles. So we have another 2 right off the bat, which symbolizes partnership and balance. The Two of Pentacles is in the material realm. So again, the emphasis on this reading right off the bat is one of like our day to day. So for Aries, this is really about your day to day. This is about your life right now, and bringing another in, whether it's a person, an opportunity, your higher self. But there's a longing and an introduction of this energy of the 2. In the focus position, you have the Hermit with the 10 of Pentacles. Now, the 10 of Pentacles, you'll notice again, there's 2 people in the picture. It is the perfect representation of fulfillment, happiness, abundance. This is, it's just the energy of this card is just joy. It's comfort, happiness, having all your needs met. 2 cards popped out for this too, and it was with the Hermit, which is a very solitary card. It's a very card about inner work. And again, I think this is showing that contrast for Aries to focus on is that the last cycle was definitely one of self, and the new cycle is definitely one of partnership and bringing this feeling of fullness into yourself. So in the recent past, there's the energy of the Death card, and that is a rebirth. That is a new cycle starting. Nothing to be afraid of. It's just a confirmation of this 10 of Swords energy that that an old cycle has ended. This new cycle, there's a new cycle coming in, of course. Again, with this energy, of course, there's new cycles coming in. In the Strength position, the 10 of Swords is also bringing in the energy of allowing. So it's like allowing another in, allowing yourself to be in this vulnerable position. It's a pretty vulnerable position. I mean, now those swords in this back. Each of those swords represents a challenge overcome. Like something that's a lesson that's been learned and incorporated into the core self. But this is about surrender, the energy that I'm getting from Spirit for this reading. So, okay, Aries. New cycle, partnership, surrender, finding this feeling of trust and nurturing. So we've got a lot of trust. And in the near future is the 9 of Wands. So again, the end of something. And this allows for the new. Now, in the advice position, you have the King of Cups. So again, this is allowing yourself to not only express love like this king so easily does, but this king has learned to receive love. He's learned that love is a good thing, that there's no weakness in love because he's a king. There's no weakness in the kings at all. And that's your advice, is to really think and reflect on that. What is love to you? Is it surrender? Does it scare you? Because it shouldn't. The things you can do position, you have the Queen of Wands, and this is fire energy. This is Aries. This is you, and I believe this is representing you in this reading. And the Queen of Wands is passionate. She's nurturing. She's creative. She's everything Aries can be. But when you have the King of Cups with her, this is the advice. This is what you can do. The energy is that Aries needs to allow for this love to come in. This could be self-love because for hopes and fears, we have the Lovers. This is a major arcana. Again, it's a 2. It's introducing this whole idea of partnership, balance. It's a lovely feeling in this card. And it's also, 2 figures, the male and the female. And certainly this card represents a spiritual unity, finding like a wholeness within yourself. But in this reading, especially in the hopes and fears, I fear that many of the Aries out there globally are not only wanting that soulmate type of relationship or wanting more for their relationship, or basically, in a nutshell, wanting wholeness and balance. It's hard to always be the one in control. For the outcome, you have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is literally, in this reading, a card of trust. So Aries, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of losing control, relinquishing control, surrendering yourself to another person? Feeling like you can't trust, but the outcome is trust. You are going to develop in this next 7 to 8 year cycle a new level of trust, a new level of surrender to another person. Okay, 2 cards came out. The 5 of Cups and the Strength card. So yeah, Aries, you have been hurt in the past. Quite honestly, it's hard to find someone who hasn't been hurt in the past, but yes, you've been hurt in the past. Yes, you've come through. This is another fire card. You've come through. You are strong. You're capable, and you are ready. You're ready to welcome in. You're ready to relinquish control. This Strength card is a card of controlled strength. It's about being strong enough to be vulnerable, almost being strong enough to be weak. There's a strength in weakness. There's a strength in humility. There's a strength in surrender. It's a working relationship. And that's what I feel like this reading is saying for Aries. The energies are coming in really strong. The Aries are going to be coming into a time of partnerships. And again, this is Uranus just came into the 2nd house of Taurus. Again, another 2, about balance, about wholeness, about finding those partnerships that lead to happiness and lead to fulfillment. And we have 3 cards here. I'm just going to pull them and hold them up real quick. 3 cards. Look at, in all 3 of these cards, these are cards of wholeness, happiness, and fulfillment. every one of these cards has such a positive, wonderful energy. And this is what is coming in for Aries. So I'm really excited for Aries for this new cycle that started. And I'll do an extended reading on this because I always like to clarify these readings. And I will come back and check in a couple of weeks and see where we're going. Thank you, and I will see you later.